Hi, y'all. My name is Chanelle Anthony. I am a teacher, dancer, creative in London, based in London. Now I do like heels. I teach like internationally. I teach in London sometimes. And my background is mostly musical theatre, jazz, TV, film. So yeah, that's it.
Welcome to Studio Sessions, a video series for creative performers. Each week we go behind the scenes in the shoots and sit down with guests to discuss their careers, the creative industry, and share the lessons they've learned along the way. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So getting into dance at the start of your
Yes.
journey then, how did that all start?
Right. That's a good question. Dance kind of just felt like something that I always enjoyed doing. I never thought that it would turn into a career. Like honestly. Like even till now, I'm like, I really just love doing what I do. I never thought, okay, I have this like one goal. It really has just been whatever I feel pulled to do. I do because I enjoy it. But kind of started like with in school, like it was literally like an extracurricular thing. I did like loads of youth clubs. Like on a Saturday, I did like contemporary jazz, and then I applied for the Brit School, and then I got in, which I was like, oh wow, okay, we're going. It still didn't hit me that I was like, this was gonna be like a career. I was like, okay, we'll go to the Brit School. And then I did like Bird College. Then after that, I booked my first West End show, which was Aladdin. And then I was like, okay, this is a career. It's like, this is something I can see myself doing.
I love that. So going back
funny.
to the Brit School there,
Yes,
what was that like, your time there from like kind of the moment you started to...
Good question. It was like a shock because like you go straight into the everyday ballet 8:30 in the morning, then you have like the jazz and you have the musical theatre, then you just get into this schedule of learning. So I guess for me, where I was just like, oh, I'm taking this seriously, but it's not something that it was like, whoa, okay, this is like, they're taking this really seriously. And I remember having like a conversation with my teacher, and she was like, Chanelle, why are you so like shy? And I was like, because I don't know. She was just like, Chanelle, you need to step into it. Like maybe you need to start realizing that maybe this is something you can do. So yeah, Brit School was like an eye opener for me to just be like, okay, maybe I'm still enjoying it, but let me like, I just put my soul into everything that I do. So it feels, Brit School was good.
And what's your advice to that shy kid?
Don't be scared to be yourself, because even in the industry where it's like sometimes can feel very extroverted, you don't have to be very extroverted. You could just be yourself and still be on that journey of self-discovery and not feel like you have to be this loud character. You could just be you, because actually I'm more introverted, but dance makes me feel more extroverted. If I had to choose, I'd have a very, very chilled, like maybe some bits like that, but like as a person, sometimes I feel like I'm very almost not too quiet for the industry, but a bit more laid back. I'm not as as competitive. Like I don't feel like I need to be competitive. Long as I'm doing me, I'm happy. So I think you have to look after yourself first before you put the industry first, because then after that, then who are you after you're not dancing? Like,
and to anyone who's listening who feels like they are an introvert and they don't have that kind of, they're not the loudest one in class. Like, what's your advice to that person to help them kind of stand out in a room that's full of people who are really loud?
True. That's a really, really good question. I think you have to focus on enjoying it. Like I think when you dance, like you feel something, right? Like even I say this in my classes, you feel something first, right? So focus on that. Like don't think of it being for the receiver, more about like how you feel good. And sometimes like even I'll say in my classes, I'm like, forget even me. Like if I wasn't here, would you have the same experience? And I want you to have the same experience whether you're being watched or not. So, and I know that's easy to say because you kind of develop the skill to be like, people are watching me. But like if you focus on enjoying yourself and having fun and like not caring about what the result is, more about how you show up for yourself in like any space, you leave feeling happy. You're not going, I hope they like it. You're like, you know what? I'm happy with that.
I think it's remembering that everyone starts from zero.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to walk into the room being that best person. And it is a journey to get there.
Exactly. I think people forget that. Like they go straight in and they're like, I have to do. But I'm like, maybe it's like your first audition. Like what the hell? Like breathe. Like maybe like less about the result and like just being in the space and knowing that it's a journey. Like if I thought like I was going to get there straight away. I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
I'd be like
that
chasing
level of like
it.
patience, like
you have to accept like the growth. Like the growth doesn't happen straight away. Like you have to be uncomfortable. There's moments where things don't look how you want them to, but they will. But that's like hard to accept as a dancer. Saying that we're like great, but applying it is another thing entirely. So
and what's some things that have made you uncomfortable over the years that you've kind of overcame?
There's a lot of things that's happened. Okay, let me start with musical theatre. It's its own world. I love it, but sometimes it can feel really restrictive, and I struggled with that because I did that for like 3 years. Like the constant 8 shows a week, feeling like almost like a number, you know. You go into someone else's track, you're not really an individual. You're like, okay, this girl did this, so you have to do this. And it's like, I really struggled with that because I just like to do my own thing. I want to be there. If I'm in a role, I'm like, why can't I try this new thing? And it's sometimes it can feel very limiting. How I overcame that, accepting it. That you have a choice. You can do that or you don't do it. Like if you don't like it, then also experience it, take it in, and then know that there's another path. Like that's not like the one thing that you have to do. Be in it, learn from it. Like I learned also to be consistent. Doing a show every day made me strong, made me feel like, okay, I can do another show. You get there's benefits from being in a show, but then also I'm like, it's gonna end in a few months. You got this, girl. So it's really that. I think I just had to accept that this is also a learning curve for me, and also for me to understand that maybe it's not right for me. But I had to do it in order for me to be like, I don't want to.
I think that's just good advice for most things in life. Like you don't know, almost like you don't know what you like until you know what you don't like.
This is so true. And it's like if you have the idea of it, you're like, wow. Because I was like, oh my God, musical theatre. This is, and it is beautiful. Like this is not to say that it's not. But for me personally, I'm too like, I can't keep still. I can't do a show for a year but then I needed to do that to figure out that that's not for me. Some people love like the consistency for a year. They're like, I can do that. But then you have to know who you are, right?
And how did it kind of feel coming out the back of that of you've almost gone from like Brit to Bird to West End. You followed a path. You followed like you kind of hit the dream. Yeah. When that dream doesn't turn out exactly how you hoped, what happens then?
Honestly, I had a moment where I just decided I don't want to do anymore, and I had like this limbo phase. Honestly, I was like, then I went back to what do I enjoy, what makes me like happy, and I'm like, okay, I like heels, I like how I feel in a heel. Okay, let's start there. And I literally just taught my first class. I had like probably 10-15 people, and I was like, it's okay for me because I like it. And like I was like, let me just lead with things that make me feel good, and then it honestly went from there. No one forced me to do heels. I actually enjoy. So that was kind of like that period where I was like, what do I do? Like, where do I see myself? And I'm like, Chanelle, you enjoy this class. This is nice. Go with that. I just say like, go with the things that feel good first, because then you're always going to have the right energy.
100%. You know, so going on to the first look from today, what was that? What made you bring that? Honestly,
it's kind of like a representation of my personality. Simple, you know. Then you have like because for me it's like a less is more. Like maybe it's just me as a character. I feel like you don't need to be more than yourself. Yeah. And I think I've just accepted that. Like I don't need to be more. I feel like I've got the things that I've really wanted by still being myself. And that for me is more important because I haven't had to change who I am in order to. But there was a phase where I was like, okay, let me do everything that they're telling me. But I wasn't happy. So at some point I was like, Chanelle, stop. This is not for you. Like, stop forcing it.
And is that kind of something you've experienced when kind of building a portfolio in the past of trying to be someone that you're not?
Yeah. I think it's because you just go like the route, right? Like college, they say you need this for the audition, like it's about this. And then you go in and they're real people. Like the panel don't want you to fail. They want you to succeed. But in college, sometimes they're like, you have to be so good and so clean. And I'm like, well, actually, sometimes it's not how well you know the routine. It's like you as a person, they see you and then they want to work with you. Like, don't forget yourself when you're even in an audition room. So I learned that like very much straight away when I left. I was like, okay, like you don't have to be like this. You can relax, let it be. You're working with people, not like they don't want to work a version of you. They want to work with you. So.
And what's your advice of bringing your own personality into an audition?
You have to let go. You have to let go and like let yourself be. Like, don't try control like the narrative. Like, don't do what you think people want to see. Be yourself. And if you're getting used to that, like maybe you're not used to showing like who you are, that could be difficult because you're used to putting especially as dancers, we're like, okay, audition time, boom. What? Sometimes I'm like, audition, all right, let's go. I'm not like I have to be like this. I'm just like, just sit back. That way I can think, I can breathe, and I can be myself, before anything. The result is out of my control. But what I can do is feel really good about me and keep me when the audition is over. Because sometimes people put their energy, they're like, I really want it. And then when they don't, you feel like really, really disheartened, which is obviously a part of the process. But if you put yourself in it and you had fun, like regardless, and you felt like you did a great job, you're going to leave feeling like that, So I understand it's hard though. When people want it, like you really want like the result, but that you can't control that. So why put so much energy into that? So
and how do you cope with the kind of that rejection?
Good question. I think coping with rejection is difficult for everybody. Like it depends how you, because some people are more sensitive to rejection, for example, and then some people are just like, I don't give a they're like I'm a bit like that. So I'm like, but honestly, acceptance. Yeah. Acceptance, and like also not being so hard on yourself, and knowing that if any rejection is like a point, like a redirection into the right path for you. It's redirection, honestly.
Yeah, so
you have to reframe it and be like, you know what, like they didn't choose me, but that means I'm good for something else. Whereas sometimes when we get a no, we're like, oh, I'm not good enough, and it's like, it's so far from the truth. Maybe they're like looking for a certain height, maybe they're looking for a certain look, or has actually nothing to do with you, but we take it like it's me. So when things like that happen, I'm like, okay, let me try again, or let me try something else, as opposed to, damn, I'm not good. But I understand, because it's a natural thing to react like that.
I think it's like a human thing.
It's a human thing, yeah. And that's the hard part, because we take it personally, and you're allowed to. But then look at it like, if you reframe it, then you're like, okay, maybe it's not about me. And then it kind of allows it to feel more like a change in direction, as opposed to you're not good enough.
Yeah.
I think that's how I've dealt with it anyway, because it's hard.
What's your advice when it comes to building a portfolio as a performer?
I would say be clear on what you want. Because sometimes we go into London, like I even have it with students or people who visit, like they don't know what they want to do. They just take loads of classes. And I'm like, yes, take loads of classes, but also be really sure of like the people you want to work with, where you see yourself. Because that's like that, like being that specific, like can also lead you to the right way. Maybe not, and then you change. But if you just go in like sometimes not knowing, let's say the choreographer or the assistant or the casting, then you're just like in limbo. Whereas if you know, actually, I really love this artist, okay, that person like works for them, I love their class, and not like by force, because you actually maybe like what they do, then you follow that path as well. Like, I think to get specific.
I think that's something that I come across a lot, where people will come in here and I'll be like, oh, so what do you want to do? And they say anything.
And it's
my
like...
first response is always, you're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah, you have to have something. Even if it's I want to dance with this person. And then there's a route to get there though. Like we just see like the goal, but then we don't do like the steps to get there. And there's steps, in my opinion, to say if I want to go to America, obviously it's on my list. But then I'm like, okay, I need to get the visa. I need to go to this class. I need to like also visit, and like there's a step, and sometimes we just have the goal and we're not taking any action towards it. So I would say like literally write, even if it's like a mind map, write like the goal and then like do steps to get there.
I think it's almost like thinking of your career as like a skyscraper. And there's like loads of floors on that. Yeah. But every floor has got steps.
Every floor takes you a bit closer.
You can see the floor above.
Yeah.
But like, and you can see the steps. You just need to actually work out what those
what
steps
it is. And sometimes we don't do that. We don't do it. We see it, we're like, oh, I love this, I want to do this. But we're spending so much time saying, I want to do this, and we're not doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to get like really real. Like really get into like planning as well. And sometimes I'm a bit of both. I'm kind of like a flow with it. But then when I'm like, I really want something, I'm already like, right, okay, I need to do this first. I want to like save up money to do this. Like, because then you're just in limbo. You're not actually planning.
Yeah.
You know,
So
yeah.
It's almost like kind of treating life like you kind of do some stuff for your heart, some stuff for your head, and you kind of like
have both. Have both. You know, like have a plan as well. Like if you love this person, like spend more time with them. You want to do more. Like I've been saying, it's so random that I want to do jinjutsu. It's so random, but also I care about my own personal hobbies as well. Like then I'm like, okay, I keep saying it, but I haven't taken a class yet. Like,
I think because it's easy to say,
because it's easy to say, but it's hard to do it, right? So I think less like of the dreaming, of course, dream, but then also have action behind it, like have a step, you know.
And I feel like I remember talking to someone once, and they were saying like, if you have a plan, you also need to attach a time frame onto it. Because I can say, oh, I'm gonna do that. When I'm going to do that, and as soon as you add a date to it or a time, and you go to your calendar, you find a free space, and you write that in.
Book it. Like just honestly, even if you don't, just book it. Like if you want to have a studio session and you don't know what you're going to do, okay, just book the studio, and then like your body will kind of go, and you work it out later. But we kind of go, oh, just book it. Because then it's in the calendar, then you paid for it now, so you have to go.
And I feel like a thing that I do a lot as well is making myself make someone else involved. Because if I agree with someone, okay, we're going to do something on this date, then I can't just ignore it because this other person.
There's someone else coming as well.
Yeah.
I did that. Like I had a studio session. I was like, oh, I want to get in the studio, and I literally just randomly, I said to Chanelle, just do it. Messaged like 5 girls, and I was like, okay, this time, this date. But even as I was doing it, I was like, it's actually happening. You know what I mean? Like you have to also like process the fact that if you want it to happen, you have to visualize it as well, like, you know, make it happen as well. So,
and I feel
that's difficult.
It is amazing as well of like once you have something planned, how your brain just works it out.
Yes.
So I feel like if you pre-think it, it's like, oh, a lot's going to go into making that happen.
But actually, when you break it down, you're like, all I had to do is book the studio, message my friends, tell them a time, and it's so much easier. But we just make it like it's bigger in our heads, obviously. Yeah. And especially if you've like been trying to do it for a while, then it becomes like more of a chore. But it's actually not that hard. It's not that hard.
So moving on to the second look from today, what was that and what made you bring that?
It's like my alter ego.
Yeah,
it's really like maybe like another side of me. Like I also love to feel good. Like, I mean, we all do. But like that look just feels really like another part of Chanelle. You know what I mean? Like with the heels and like a bit of my personality as well. Because sometimes I think people always see that side of Chanelle, but they forget
there's another
side of Chanelle. Chanelle's just a human, and I like, both looks feel like really representative of me, basically. And the second look just felt like a bit more like fire, you know.
Do you feel like that kind of represents like your brand as a performer?
Honestly, yeah, because I feel like it's like elevated, but not like too much. And also then I'm like, what is too much? It's not even a thing. You can be whatever you want to be. But for me, that's like just a little bit. Just a little bit of my character. Yeah, basically.
And you mentioned earlier about teaching heels. What was it that got you into teaching that?
Good question. I think, honestly, just taking classes. Like I took a few like years ago and I was like, this feels really, really good. And I never thought I'd be teaching heels. Honestly, I think it was so random. Like I think I literally emailed the studio and was like, can I do a class? Didn't think about it and then just did the class, and it like slowly grew into this thing that I was enjoying with friends. Like a few of my friends came as well and we were just dancing, and then it became like a weekly thing. But I think the past 3 years I've really committed to like teaching and like really putting myself and my creativity, and it really is about me expressing my creativity through heels. Because I love jazz, I love contemporary, I love like fusion. But heels feels for me like a really nice middle of everything. So yeah, I feel like this is the one style I could put all my like my ideas and feels into. Is like, this is a style I would choose to do generally. So
and in terms of like creativity as well, how do you kind of come up with something to teach?
I first start with the song. I would listen to that song for like probably a week or two.
Just like on repeat?
On repeat, like, because I think like the more you listen to music, the more layers you hear in the song.
100%.
And like every time I listen to that song, like even each day, it sounds different to me. And then I start with the movement. Like I don't even get in the studio. It's more of like, okay, this bit has a bit here. Okay, that has to be a long bit, or that has to be like a stop. and then I start building the movement from there. When I have like an idea of the shape, like I don't even know how it's going to move, but I know the musicality is clear, and then I start putting it on its feet, and then I build like the movement from there. So if it's like the phrase is long, then first I'm like, oh, I'm listening to it like that, and then when I put the movement, then I have to find a move that goes ooh,
fits the length,
and then it fits the length. But for me, like the music is key. I actually have no idea what I'm going to do physically unless I'm really clear on the musicality first.
And is it something, do you write it down? Is it in your head? Like,
it's in my head. It's in my head. I'm literally like a visual person all the way. Like, honestly, most of my classes, I only do it once when I teach it. I don't even go in the studio. Because for me, like, I already have like the vision, like almost vision it, like if I'm watching it as well. Like I listen and then I visualize. Honestly, everything I choreograph is visual. Like I visualize like the movement and everything, and then I put it on its feet. I don't go in and go, I'm gonna walk here. I have no clue until I feel like that's natural to go, you know. So it's a process.
What's your advice to someone who wants to get into choreography? They kind of feel like there is that kind of creative element to them. Just start. Like, stop thinking if you're good enough. Just start. Like, we go, okay, well, I'm not as... You have an idea, that means that it means something. So lead with it. Like, don't sit on yourself. I would say don't sleep on yourself. If you feel compelled to choreograph, because not everyone likes to choreograph, by the way. Yeah.
Like I don't know why people think everyone likes to choreograph. Not everyone likes to. It's a lot. It's mentally, like, you have to think about it a lot. So if you have that feeling and you really enjoy movement and creating movement, just start. Even if you go by yourself in a studio and you just like don't think too much about it, like go with the process. That's literally why it's called creative like direction. You have to kind of really be in your zone to create as well, and not everyone has that like want. So if you feel that, like, don't sleep on yourself. Just start. Even if you're like, I don't know what this is. Even if it's 8 counts, you've started, right? Because you think like you need like a whole piece. You don't need a piece. You just need to do.
And again, everyone starts somewhere. It's like you're probably comparing yourself to someone who's been choreographing for years and years and
Which
years.
is so unrealistic, you know? Like, I'm like, don't do that to yourself. If you do that, you won't start. Because you're thinking about, oh my God, it's going to take me so long. Yes, it will. But you have to start first, right?
And what did your first choreography look like?
It was very basic. My friends would disagree. They're like, Chanelle, stop it. I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Even I'm hard on myself because I'm like, man, it's okay. But for them, they're like, well done, you know? So for me, it looked really simple. But then also when I really think about it, it's just developed. That was like my initial idea. And my idea is just developed. Doesn't mean like it's bad or it's good. It's just changed. And even like as you choreograph, it will change. Your style will change. Maybe you love this type of music more and it will change. Or maybe like keep it open, keep it free. Like don't be stuck in one lane of choreography. Like if you love a song and maybe it's very different to what you usually do, that's literally a part of being a creative.
100%, that kind of evolution. Because it's like you might take one class from someone in a different country and be like, whoa.
Well, I love that style.
Bit of inspiration.
A little bit, exactly. So I say don't get stuck in this like box of feeling like you need to create the same type of way. Because I feel like there's more. Most choreographers, I think, who I feel like are great is because they just have ideas. They're not set on like that one style that has to be the same. Actually, they're like, I love that song. Different to what I do, but I'm going to create to it. And I think as a choreographer, like you also need to be able to work with different people.
Yeah. Because I suppose different artists.
Different artists as well. We can't always be in the same bag of choreography or like moves. Also, you have to adapt. Maybe they love like your essence, not your moves. Because sometimes it's not just about what you do. It's like the energy that you bring. So just stay open with the way that you create.
In terms of like teaching and kind of running classes, how do you build that from your first day opening a class to no one?
That's good. I've had that question. Actually, like, how do you start teaching? I think firstly, find like a studio that feels organic for you. Because I think also a studio space is very important, like with the energy and how you feel being in that space. So pick a space that feels really nice for you, that you like teaching. And then I would email the studio. Like I'm going to go through like email the studio. And just like ask them if you can set up like an open class, like a pop-up class. Can I just do a trial maybe just to see how I feel, and just start teaching. Honestly, you have to not care. I know it's so easy to say, but you have to not care about numbers. Like, if you really zone in on like what you want to achieve, you're not thinking about numbers. You're thinking about getting somewhere and growing. And I think this is the distraction. We're too in social media. It's a thing now. But like, we're too in the comparison. Oh, my class is not that big. If I thought about that, I wouldn't have a class. Even now, when my class is like, let's say they're sold out, I'm like, wow, I'm still shocked, because that's not the goal for me. The goal is not to have a sold out class. The goal is for me to be creative and share with people, and not in any capacity. It doesn't need to be like a full class, you know? So I think if you're clear, like, you know what, I just want to start growing. I want to start choreographing. I want to get my work out there. Also with friends, like getting a studio with friends, and like test your movement on your friends and people you feel comfortable with. Get comfortable with teaching, like even in a space with you first, and then do an open class. Doesn't have to be straight open class. Like, get a few people together, teach with them, see how you feel, ask for their feedback. Like, what do you think? If you care, obviously, about, you know, if you have that good relationship.
Yeah, so it's finding people where you trust their opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, build like your group or your circle, and then teach first. Like, get confident. Maybe it's that, because I've had a lot of people say, how do you teach? I'm so scared. And I'm like, you have to feel the fear, like, and do it anyway. You have to be scared in the class, and you're probably still going to be scared when you teach the class. But like, you can't let that stop you, you know? Like, someone like me, I'd never thought I'd teach. No, it's funny. Even before I was more shy, I was more like, but I was like, you know what, Chanelle? Just go. Because I know, like, I want to do this, and I don't want it to stop me.
And do you feel any anxiety before a class now?
Still, you still have that sort of, but then when I start to feel like that, I remind myself, like, it's still a process. Like, I still also want to be creative. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy this song. These are where my mind, this is what I try to tell myself, or where I remind myself when I start to get nervous. It's like, you know, it's your creative process. You don't need a finished product. You just need people in the room that want to learn with you, and it's enough. And they do want to learn from you. Like, I always say, like, don't be surprised how many people want to learn from you. You may think, but maybe they're like, oh my God, please teach a class. I love the way you move. Like, don't assume like people don't want to learn from you because you don't have like a sold out class.
Yeah.
That's the idea. They're like, if it's sold out, people want to learn from you. But actually, maybe someone like met you, they saw you in class. Like, I've had people who take my class, like they go to my students and they're like, or my friends, and they go, I love you. Like, when are you teaching? I'm like, see? Like, you don't need to, like, I feel like if you have something to give, which we all do, in my opinion, like, teach, see how it goes, like, experiment, see what feels good, and like, yeah, don't let people stop you from doing stuff.
What makes a good teacher?
When you listen. You have to read the room. Don't just go into class and do what you want. Okay, I get it, but when I teach, it's not about me. In fact, like, they always want me to do a performance. I'm like, guys, okay, it's not about me. But like, it's not about me. I become the teacher. I'm not the dancer. I'm Chanelle, like someone that's leading the class. I'm not like, I always say, guys, it's not about me. It's your class. Like, you're here, ask questions. Like, be a learner for you, not for me. So I think being a good teacher means listening to people, like, not making it about yourself, but actually giving. It's a very much a giving situation. So also like a two-way with the energy of the class, and that's another thing. But listening and like dropping the ego, you know, it's not about me. I can perform in my own time. I can take a studio and dance. When you're teaching people, like, you need to sit back and allow people to learn from you, as opposed to you being the center, in my opinion.
But on the flip side of that, what makes a good learner?
Being engaged, like, also not being scared to look silly. Have that a lot in heels, because heels, naturally you just do a bevel and everyone's like and I'm like, you know, like, you're the same person with or without your heel. It doesn't, like, you're one person. So like, be yourself in class as well. If you're not happy, Chanelle, can you go over this? Like, can you help me with this? Like, I think people just feel like there's a way to learn, and everyone learns so differently. I always say, like, learn in the way that you want to learn as well. Like, be present, obviously, like, try focus and really take in, but at the same time, be engaged, but in your learning, not like this. Because sometimes they're looking at other people, and I'm like, me, when I'm in class, I'm like this. I'm like, Chanelle, get the steps. And then sometimes when I'm watching, I'm just watching. I'm not doing me. I'm also like present in the classroom as well, like watching everyone as well. That way you get the energy. Whereas if you're like this throughout the whole class, you're not taking anything in. You're too here and you need to be here. You know what I mean? It's also being in the room, not just like physically, but mentally, like really looking around. Sometimes when I'm like nervous and I'm just looking at myself, I'm like, Chanelle, look around the room. Like, stop being like this. Because then that's what makes this kind of, you're in this world and you're just doing your thing, but you're forgetting that there's like 30 other people in the classroom that you can ask questions to, you can like practice with, you know, get out of your head and like into the space. That way you feel like you're really present. That's what I say anyway.
Brilliant. So moving on to the third and final look from today. What was that? What made you bring that?
I just think like a bit of color. That's like my way of adding a bit of color into it. But it just feels like fierce. Like I just wanted to, like, that's also, I love like the leopards and the like, so that's like, I was like, we have to do a leopard. But that look felt really classy, but then it was almost like back in the day, like that sort of like 90s, but everything like was leopard print, and it just feels really, obviously with the dance way, you'll see the dance way. But I don't know, I felt, feels like another side of my personality, honestly. I just love leopard print. I have no excuse, I have no reason, I just love it. I love the print.
So moving on to kind of like where you are kind of now in your career, you've just come back of doing a couple of months of being around internationally. How did all that come about? And
honestly, like Instagram. Like people literally just message me and like, oh, can you just, like, it literally started because someone messaged me about a camp in like Italy, and then I taught there, and then they saw the video, then they're like, oh, can you teach there? And it literally just was like a domino effect. Like literally, it literally grew from me just teaching abroad, and then it was like, okay, because for me Europe is really great for training. They have loads of camps. Like I feel like there's a lot more, there's a lot more like spaces for you to train for, like, let's say 4 or 5 days, which for me is like amazing. They can have a camp for 4 days, like hip hop, contemporary, heels, like it is crazy. They train for me in a different way. They train more like a community. Like they make sure you build like a way of training and learning throughout days, as opposed to in London is very, very fast paced. You have the 1 hour and a half class, blah, 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 blah. There's not a lot of like programs where you can do like for a whole week, for example. So it really just started like that. Like I didn't even know that was a world at all. But I trusted the process. It was like, okay, let me see. And I actually really, really enjoy teaching outside London. Honestly, it feels really wholesome. Like people know each other. They're just like a family. It's really, really nice.
Is there anything from teaching abroad you'd want to bring back to London?
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm joking. The shade. No, I'm joking. I'm not joking. But I think community. Like London is a beautiful city, but like sometimes the competitiveness overshadows the fact that you can also go together. You can also succeed as a group. You can succeed all together. There is space for everyone at the top. In London, sometimes people think it's like one space. I'm like, no, there isn't. Like there's opportunity for everyone. And I think in Europe, like when I teach abroad, I feel like people have that sort of collective mindset. Like they train together, they're like cheering you on, like, yeah, it's like throwing, like it's just, they're so supportive in a different way that you feel like they want you to do well because they also know who they are. It's different. Like that sort of like self-assuredness is different. And also then you think in Europe, they don't have chances like we have in London, for example, like to have classes every week. So they really make the most of it. And I think although we have a lot of classes in London, sometimes you could do 10 classes and not really grow because you're just on repeat. You're not like really taking in every class. I feel like in Europe, they're just like, wow, this is the best day ever. They're like, oh my God, finally a class.
So grateful to be there.
Yeah, they're really grateful. And I think we're kind of spoiled in London for classes. And sometimes we forget that it's about the quality, not the quantity of classes that you take. It's like, I would rather take 2 amazing classes and feel like I put myself into it than take 10 and feel like I haven't really grown.
And how do you know where to invest your time in terms of classes?
I'll go back to like going with the feeling. Go where you feel good. Like if you love that style and like how you feel in it, go again. Like try investing in something that actually makes you feel good and you will see the difference. Because then you're always going to be like, I'm excited about this. If you're forcing yourself to go class because you're like, I have to go to that thing because if I don't go, I'm not going to get that job. Like you see how the mindset is just like, that's so counterproductive because you're forcing yourself to be there. Whereas if you're in a class that you actually like, you're going to want to go back every week and you are going to grow because you're relaxed. You're like, I feel good here. So I would say like go to classes that make you feel good first. And then you can start doing things that you're like, okay, let me try that style because I feel like I need to improve in it. But start with places that you feel good because then you're always going to have good energy towards it. Like you want to have a healthy relationship with dance, not like a negative one, but you feel forced to be in that room because if you're not there, then you're not going to get a job. I think that's not. And also then I think of the people that I've worked with, they're human beings. Like they also make mistakes. Like they're not perfect. Like it just doesn't exist for me. I think there's class environment and then there's a work environment. But even that work environment can be relaxed. People work hard, but then there's not that pressure of have to be amazing. Everyone's just doing their own thing. Like the choreographer like wants you to be great. Like they want you to shine. You can't shine if you feel stressed. If you're stressed, like, oh my God, I have to get it right. You can't actually be your full self. So you have to find that first. So then when you go into a workspace, you know who you are. Like you're just doing you in a space full of different people who are also doing themselves. So I think in London, we're missing that a little bit.
And you mentioned Instagram there. What's your advice to someone kind of as a performer using Instagram?
Keep it natural. Like I know they say you have to, like I always see like you have to have this on your Instagram. And to some extent I agree. But then like you also have to represent yourself truly. So at one point does it become like a representation or something that you just want people to see? I think you need to have a balance. Because like when you work with people, they're not, as I said, they're not just working with like you as a dancer, they're working with you as a person. So I think it's also, yes, have your stuff, like have your dance things, but also have bits that show also maybe you as a person. Like, I don't know. I think that's important personally for me. Because I think when people meet me, it's like they already know maybe how I'm going to be. Because I'm like, they're not like, they meet this wall and then they're like, I want people to know who I am. I don't care if like, I love the dance, but like, I'm not just Chanelle the dancer, I'm Chanelle the person. So.
And how do you showcase who you are as a person?
Obviously like through my choreography, but then like, even like some of my videos, like I'm laughing or like I'm smiling. I like love to insert bits where like I'm like dancing with the students and we're just like, it's not so like boom, 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 end the video. I'm like, I love to have like the extra bits where we're like vibing together and like you see like the real moments of class, even like BTS, like not like the professional videos. Sometimes I just post like a random reel, like that's not professional at all. Just like the background, because that's what really happens. Obviously, when you get the real footage, you see like it's like very, clean and it's great,
professional,
really professional, which I love. But then also I'm like, that's not like a real representation of the class and like how people, like we always have like the talks after as well. We sit down, we're like, how do we feel? Like sometimes we miss that backstage part as well. So I try to post that as well.
And what do those talks look like?
They're like, I mean, people cry a lot in my classes. I don't know why.
What do you do to them?
I'm like, honestly, like I just like pull them to be themselves. Like to stop being like, if there's a song that feels like emotional for you, like why are you like blocking that emotion? Like, okay, I can't feel too much in this. I have to look clean. Who said that you have to do that? You know what I mean? You're a person. So if you feel something, feel it. Like I always like, I'm also myself when I teach. I'm never just like, guys, you have to be. I make mistakes as well. I laugh. I'm like, I've had a moment. I'm like, because it's like, I don't want to be someone else when I'm teaching. I'm the same person. So I think sometimes when they see me, they feel like also they can be themselves. They're not just like.
Yeah, you must give them the permission to be themselves.
Absolutely.
By being yourself.
Yeah. And I say like, even like I always say like when the song is over, if you like the rest of the song, why are you walking off this? Like, I'm like, stay out. Like, finish the phrase and then you can go. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like they stop themselves from, like, living a bit more. They're like, oh, it's done. Let me go. And I'm like, no. Get back in the center. And I'm like, woo! Because I'm like, you're allowed to have that moment. Sometimes we just cut the moment straight after the choreography and I'm like, okay, it's too much. What? Like, you're dancing, right? There's music. carry on. When you're finished, and you can go. But I feel like I just want to encourage people to just like be themselves in classes. There's no right or like wrong way to train. Obviously, there's the professional aspect, and obviously some classes you have to be, but like in general, just don't hold back when you're in class. Like, it's also a moment for you to make mistakes. It's a moment for you to like express things, and then you leave. Like, what's the point for me of taking class if you're not gonna try and express yourself in that way? And I find like, I don't know, people, they cry. I don't know. I said, just let it out. It's okay. We could talk about it.
And in terms of carrying on after the music's finished, what's next for you?
It's a good question. Do you know what? I'm enjoying teaching. Like, I'm going to continue like the traveling and teaching, but I really would love to like get back into my acting and singing. Yeah. So next year I'm going to like put my energy more into like acting, singing, maybe auditioning for like certain things, because as much as I love dance, like I love the theatre world and the TV, and that's like definitely another realm. I just decided that I wanted to teach. So I said, Chanelle, let's focus on it. Like I really hyper focused on teaching. And this is why I say like, it's powerful when you're clear on what you want, but then you put your energy, because sometimes you have so many things. You're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But you're like spreading your energy like on everything, and you're not getting results because your energy is too spread like thin. If you focus on like that one thing and you put your all into it, you really nurture it. I think that's when you get the results. So I really hyper focused on teaching. I was like, I'm gonna really, really put my all and see what happens. And the result has been really good.
Yeah, I feel like there's an element of fear around, if I focus on one thing, I'll miss out on all of the other things.
Exactly.
Whereas actually, it's better to have hyper focus, go and achieve something there, stop on that, and then hyper focus on that, and you can
start building like your skill from each thing. Like, you're not missing out. You're just like taking a break from something. Sometimes people like, and this is also what like stops, I feel, people from achieving something, because they feel like they're missing out on that thing if they're not. Yeah, but what if you grow that one thing? Like, I've seen so many, like, let's say artists, like they grow in that one field, and then they're like, oh, okay, now we can use you for this and for this, for this. Like, don't be fooled, like, or like focus on that one thing, and you'd never know what can come from that. Things can still come from it,
I feel like I like to think of it as almost like a tree, where you're kind of like, you've got that kind of like trunk, focus one thing, and then you hit a point, and then everything
opens. And I think sometimes people forget. I'm like, you can actually be really good at one thing, and people still see you in other things as well. So like, just pick something, put your energy into it, and like, you just never know what can come from it, honestly. What was it? Like, I did the Nutcracker in South Bank. It was like almost like a fusion of ballet, contemporary. And I was really like, this is hard. I was like, whoa, my body. But from that, I did the BAFTAs. But if I didn't do that job, I wouldn't have got that. They wouldn't have come to see me in that. So it's like, you just never know. So even if you're not sure, like, just go, because then you have that solid thing, and people can start seeing you even from that. So, and I teach heels. Obviously I do theater and stuff like that, but like, you would never think that, okay, maybe they would see me for this. You don't know, right? So yeah, choose one thing and then focus on that, and then you can go from there. Boom. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, please share it. If you want to see more of these, click subscribe. And if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask, just drop them in the comments below. See you in the next session.